I'm TJ Mustard. I am joined in the commentary booth by Radical Sniper. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, and doing tracking for us today is Kiff and Nate Walkherd. So thank you for doing the tracking for us today.
It looks like we are now up, though.
We are live now. It looks like we are a go.
Yeah, we got GFE Specs, Mr. Ed, and some person no on this one. As you said, it's Enemizer tonight. So all the basic enemies are shuffled. And then the bosses, the way it works is it's a full shuffle. What'll happen is every boss, or all the bosses are shuffled, but we are guaranteed to have 3 duplicate bosses. We don't know where those are going to be. We just know that there are 3 of them that we will see twice.
GFE taking advantage of the early bombs you got, killing them, the Henoxes, which are dying one shot from a bomb to get a tree pull off there. So getting some Kakariko cash.
Now, the one thing that's really important about this mode, we are, no map compass shuffle. So what we can do is, if we are in a dungeon and find a compass, what we can do is we can do a quick map check and we'll know who the boss is of that dungeon.
Wow, actual compass functionality. Who would have thought?
I know, right?
Amazing. Look at all these money and bombs. Money and bombs. Money and bombs.
Now, of course, what we can do with the fact that it's Enemizer is we do see bosses that, or enemies in rooms, there's some rules to it. We were discussing this before the race, is that, hey, you can get into Eastern and, there's the rooms that have the Igors. Well, Igors can't get placed in kill rooms. So while the logic might assume you had a bow to get through the dungeon, the actual seed, you might get away with not having one.
Might.
Yes, might.
Probably.
Because if Pod is a crystal, you still need a bow to beat Pod.
Right, because that's that thing you shoot the arrow into to put the wall up is that's not an enemy. That does not change. You still need to shoot that thing. Oh, some person though taking a death noise in that fairy drop we got in Link's house.
Luckily, we did have a fairy in a bottle to begin with.
Yeah, it's good. Oh gosh, the thieves! Oh my! Oh god, GFE.
Luckily, I think this is no damage shuffle on the thieves,
That's the
so
worst.
no worry about getting tagged by one of them to death.
Oh, flute, cute.
Yeah, nice early start there in terms of the equipment we have and what we can actually do in Kakariko.
Well, any seed you get with early bombs is pretty nice, but we don't have many tools. We do have a lamp, so that old man rescue will be in logic. You can get that. Moon Pearl, so Moon Pearl stuff can be done with pearls and moons.
Probably want a little more health for the old man rescue. That's always a little terrifying.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's Enemizer. Well, Specs is a heart container from somewhere. Let's hope he makes it out of here alive. Oh, you got a fairy. Okay, he'll be all right. You want to activate that flute.
To say this feels so powerful of an MSU here from GFE.
Oh yeah,
are you familiar with this one?
Is this like Star Fox? It's not Star Fox, right?
I didn't know which one this is. I'm gonna have to look that up.
All I know is that Ed's using my MSU, so and he shouted me out. So hi, Mr. Ed. We're going right to desert. Check that ledge. What's on it? I didn't see it. GFE, let's take a look. Come on. I know you saw it, but I didn't see it. Looked like a glove. It vaguely resembled a glove.
It's Jet Force Gemini for GFE.
I see. Okay. So Specs and some person have a bottle versus GFE and Mr. Ed who did not. So we can get I guess the sick kid didn't have anything because Specs is leading.
I mean, not too surprising. The child does not have much usually.
Usually not, no. It's a singular check. It has a chance of being something as much as anything else does.
Oh, and good old Lionel's in the overworld. That's what you love to see when you sign up for Enemizer.
Oh, come on. Any inverted player knows. Oh, that was not a glove. It was a bottle. I'm cool with that. Having a glove there would be pretty annoying anyway. It would pretty much force the book. Ah, Ed. Imagine getting hit with lasers in the desert. Desert lasers. Rated R.
And GFE going out of his way for those extra 20 bucks.
He's been going out of his way for all that money. I respect that.
I mean,
rollers. Rollers and thieves. Oh boy.
And loses a bomb on that one. So down to 5 bombs as he approaches Mini Moldorm Cave, which we'll see what we actually get in there. With 4 bombs, if these are shadows, he's going to have to be really, really precise. Oh, these aren't terrible enemies, at least.
You can... Oh, I got one to fall, but... Ah, boy. These Moldorms are still going to be an issue. There you go. Nicely done.
Yeah, really cooperative on the Mini Moldorms, and of course, the self-sacrificing Mini Helma.
And
there's our boots for Ed.
We got a cape in Mini Moldorm Cave there, so... We got some savage footwear today.
Yeah, Ed finding those boots out of Sahashla's closet. Nice little advantage to start.
Yeah,
and that was a coin.
I think it's Quake. Okay.
Yeah, that is a Quake. And Ed getting a sword out of the Bonk Rocks. So very nice find off of those boots.
Them boots are paying off right off the bat. So an early sword, early boots, early cape. I think this might be an Agaseed.
Oh no. I'm going to exhaust probably all my options before then because 4-heart Aga Tower in Enemizer is no good friend ever.
Oh, I mean, we got some time before we can even do that, but we do have some red flags. We got a lamp, we got the cape, which is a literal red flag, and if I see another sword, then yeah, we got Moon Pro. Actually, we can do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you a believer in the idea that if it's an Aga seed, the game just gives you a ton of Aga?
What do you mean, ton of Aga?
Explain. So, do you ever get seeds that are just barely Aga seeds, like a sword and a cape, or just a Master Sword? No, you usually see a lot of stuff. Master Sword and cape, tempered sword. It's screams it.
Yeah, well, I think we're seeing that right now because we have here's the thing. If we see a hook shot, I'm gonna guarantee you, yeah, this is an Agaseed because we have no glove or hammer, right? So the hook shot will get us across the West Dark World with the use of the flippers. And since we have
everybody's favorite beginner tip in the Rando Discord.
Hey, I'm stuck. Where do I go? Go here. Oh my gosh, this cave is terrifying. Ugh. Imagine being an old man and being stuck in that place.
Yeah, that the bomber bird is really the problem on this one, and GFE having to be really careful. He's got nothing to work with.
Oh, okay. Well,
yep.
Wait, Ed has a Master Sword. Wait, does he? Or is that just, or am I just seeing blue things? Nope.
I think that's just a regular sword.
That's just a regular sword. So the good thing about dying with the old man is you just start right back here. That is the only escort that does that. Why, I don't know. Probably a safeguard against something.
I don't know if that's a safeguard, because you ever not be able to get through?
Once.
You get to feel really silly when you get to the old man and then you can't get all the way out.
Yeah, I played a Plando once where somebody gave me the flute activated in standard escape, and I made the mistake of grabbing the old man, and then it was just stuck forever. It was very weird. What else do we have here? There's a hook shot right there. Right here. Hook shot. Okay, there's a bow. All right, so
That's Eastern.
It does. Like, even though we don't really need it, it does put Eastern palettes into logic. Nobody's done a map check yet, have they?
No.
Speaking there we go.
Pendant crystal, red crystal. So green, or just a regular pendant Eastern Palace, regular crystal desert, and a red crystal Hera.
Of course it's a pendant. Well, what do? You go to that pendant east. I used to have to. Well, you could do Aga. You could, but then what do you do after that? Because that bow does put more of pod into logic as well, even though we don't really need that bow for pod necessarily. Same principle applies.
Well, and this is I don't want to undersell what we've got here tonight. This is just a daily race.
Yeah.
Are you the type who says I can just play a little bit more loose in the daily?
Oh no, I'm super competitive.
Okay, of course. I mean, that's why we're having fun out here of calming.
Yeah. I mean, I was almost in this race, but decided, just come on, talk about it instead. It's fun. GFE loves the money, and I love those who love the money.
Yeah, these daily races, similar to the ladder system in a sense, where you're just like, I don't have to play super, super tight about everything, and then Specs getting shot from behind by the Beamos.
A lot of Beamos deaths today. Beamos deaths today. GFE really needs to get them boots.
Specs is like, I'm going up the stairs. No, I'm not.
Oh, that's dumb.
This is why I'm calming tonight. Enemizer's not fun.
Enemizer's great fun.
It's great fun to watch people deal with it.
Do you know why I enjoy Enemizer? Because it's a truly random mode, where usually you'll go into a dungeon or an overworld path, you know exactly what to expect. Yeah, you get that money. You know exactly what to expect, but here there's something new around every corner, and it forces you to react in such a way that you're not used to. So I enjoy that. I enjoy that aspect of playing a video game, doing something that's completely the chain chomp, and then you see chain chomp, you're like, why am I doing this?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I wonder if GFE... Well, GFE can't. GFE's just doing this because, yeah, he's got no access to
GFE, open the chest first, please. Buddy.
Yeah, imagine that was a sword.
Right? A weapon.
Boy, don't I feel silly. Was that the THX noise? That's what it sounded like. The audience is now deaf.
Did Specs take a death in Eastern to throw him back to the front?
Maybe. Specs took a death before Eastern, right? With the fairy outside.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Boy, don't I feel silly, said GFE, picking up the blue cane, which is a weapon, out of that chest. Oh well. Not like he can't buy more bombs with his exorbitant amount of money.
I mean, I think he's thinking Zora at this point, like, I'm gonna buy something.
Yeah. So I hope that compass is not on the boss here. Let's see if Specs remembers to go ahead and map check in case he gets that compass.
Yeah, Specs is I don't know if too new of a player. Ooh, and we're already down to red mail, so the slow death warp for both GFE and Ed here.
Yeah, good luck death warping. Oh, we just picked up that fairy. Ah!
They both do it.
Oh boy. Even the veterans still go for that, man. Oh, come on, Ed. You don't have to walk out as penance. It'd be faster to save and quit and run back, bro. There's the compass. Oh, Specs does not realize that it's possible to beat this boss, does he?
Well, it doesn't have the bow, so it doesn't really have a weapon.
Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't have anything. You're not wrong.
With the position of those boots, you're kind of a little less tempted to save and quit immediately.
Yeah. Well, Specs is about to get the sword. And there's nothing on Zora, so GFE is saving his money for very little.
It is looking more and more like this is going to be a required AGA, but Ed's giving us one of the few things left, really, with the back of Escape, or at least Dark Cross.
See if this is a key. Oh boy, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh boy, that blue cane is a godsend. That is a godsend of a blue key.
Ed, are you just gonna rush AGA here?
I think so. That's exactly what he's doing. It's either that or the Eastern Palace boss. But yeah, we're gonna have to go right into Palace of Darkness, and whatever we need is in there. Dark Cross was a map. Nice bombing from some person new in Mindy Moldorm Cave. God, honestly, that name is really hard to say. I don't know why. There's something about the structure of the name that makes it just so hard to pronounce. Like I keep wanting to say some no person or just something different.
Masingno?
Masingno. Yeah. You know, it makes it easier if I put it into that context.
Boots are in Saha's closet, leading to that sword in Bonk Rocks. And really utilizing that blue cane right now.
It's such a good find. GFE being late to those boots kind of puts him behind. But see if he opts to go all the way through Eastern Palace.
With that bow, he's definitely got reason to go for it.
Yeah.
Or at least try.
Looks like that's what's going on.
And you're seeing some of that veteran nature from GFE here, you know. We saw Specs trying to get into Eastern earlier and kind of just eating every one of those BMOs. GFE a little bit more adept at kind of identifying those enemy patterns on the fly.
Something that's really important for Enemizer. Look at that mini mold. I'm stuck in the pot. Oh, that's a lot of bombs. Specs just lost. Sheesh. It's a good thing we have weapons. Oh my gosh. It's one annoying thief.
So we do get Ed into his AGA fight now. We'll see what kind of patterns we get here. How many blue balls, of course. To anybody who's not watched a rando race, this is seeded, so all runners who do AGA will have the same number of blue balls.
However many that is. I don't know. Wake me up when Aga's done. God, this is boring.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh God, I hate this. I hate this. It's so boring.
There's a simple solution here.
What? Don't
Just
do
make
it.
it always blue or always 0.
Major glitches.
That's a different night of the week.
I guess, but can we just fast forward through this? Oh, thank God.
Don't worry, it's done.
All right,
was that
good.
a 0?
I didn't see any blue ball, so perhaps. I can't imagine that. I don't think that's the last time we'll see Ag on this seed, so.
Not at this rate.
Yeah.
GFE is heading towards that compass in the vanilla big key chest. Hopefully we get that boss check. Definitely very curious to find out who our Eastern Palace boss is. And here we go. That's Helmasaur. That is a killable boss.
Yeah, we gotta use the bombs, but we can do it. Oh, still with the okay. You know what? It's good that room has some stationary enemies in there. Wow, is that at 87 or is that 7? Oh, here we go. We got a map check. Right. It's green pendant in Mire and blue pendant in Ice Palace.
With Thieves Town as our other 5-6.
Good, because I didn't spot that one. Cool. Imagine Thieves Town being a crystal, and a red crystal at that.
Ooh, this is not a great room for ammo conservation for GFE.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Like, he'll be able to take care of everything, but he's burning the pots, and... Okay, so he's gonna really smart here, saying, "Let me, I don't want to touch my bombs, and I need, I want to also try to save my arrows."
Yeah. And here we go, Helmasaur for GFE. I'm dying to see what's here. Uh-oh. Yeah, can't be wasting those bombs.
Well, honestly, he can go in with this kind of like
Yeah, we do
bomb myself and Helma. Like, I've got all that armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should probably do that. You can't afford to miss any. I think it takes 5. Oh, okay, he's good.
Let's get through the mask. Nicely done.
And 8 shots of this, and then that'll be done. All right, let's see. Is Eastern Palace the answer, or is Mr. Ed in a good place? Eastern Palace has money. Oh, boy. Well, get the money.
So yeah, Ed in a great position so far to be first into Dark World and into Pod, which must have something.
Yeah, we don't have very much of anything left, do we? We can't get to the back of Escape. We have the glove. We don't have the key for that. Zora and associated checks pretty much had nothing. Death Mountain was kind of empty.
Yeah, we've gone through it all.
Yeah, whatever we need is in Palace of Darkness. We've seen a Geetus kid, right? Someone did that.
I would hope so. No, GFE did it.
Okay.
Because we said we wish he had done Desert Scout, and we couldn't see what it was.
Right. It looked like a glove. It wasn't, in fact, a bottle. Oh boy, this pod, even if it does have the answers, it's certainly annoying. Thankfully, there's a fire bar there.
Oh, and we are getting the Lumberjack Pledge Scout from GFE.
Oh, just a red rupee. Yeah, GFE really does not want to go to AGA. and it shows, but unfortunately, we'll be forced to. I hate that when you throw a bomb and dash and you move like mad slow. This game is weird. Hey, what's your favorite enemy and why is it Pengator?
Pengators are fun.
Yeah.
They're always a great enemy.
All right. Oh god, that chain chomp is nasty. That'll get you. That'll get you.
So far, nothing's still in pod.
Well, that's
Not even
something.
Red Cane is something.
Not even Red Cane is something right now, but it is it's not nothing. All right, Specs will show us Specs will show us how many blue balls were on Aga if you could stand watching it without falling asleep. Okay, so we're running out of stuff in Palace of Darkness. There we go.
The mirror is
Mirror.
our answer for Hera?
That's about it, yeah.
Ooh. And this is perfect. Like, this is going to put Ed into
Ed, check the boss.
Eastern.
Yes, that was Mothula. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point.
Ed's like, you know what? I got the mirror. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. Ed is just playing aggressive here. He's saying, I skipped Eastern for a reason.
Yeah,
Goodbye, Eastern. I will never touch this dungeon.
that's the way it does it. All right. Specs gets through Aga. I got to admit, I did not see any blue balls. Yeah, I expect there to be something in the Hammer and Tower of Hera. Yeah, because that'll give us the east side of the Death Mountain. To give us more access to the Dark World. Maybe a hook shot.
Yeah,
Agus-
Hookshot or Hammer is going to be our answer, I think, at this rate.
Yeah, Aga seeds tend to be very linear in the opening stages of progression.
Yeah, you know, you're waiting for that moment where things just completely open to you and you can do a ton, and this one is not doing that. Instead, it's just a trickle.
Yeah. Well, Specs is going right to Pod as well, so also had the right of it. Does have Eastern Palace done, so is a bit behind. GFE pretty much did the entire Light World before deciding to climb Castle Tower here. And some person now going through Eastern Palace, having found the bow and some weaponry, able to get through it, but might have a difficult time with that Helmosaur. Is having a really difficult time with this room.
Yeah, down to half a heart there for some person.
Yeah. Hopefully more bombs come the way. There's a glove. So what does that do for us? That opens up the catfish.
The back of Escape.
That back of escape, that is correct. You are right. And a book. Well, okay. Now we have 2 avenues of progression. 3 if you count catfish.
I think you do back of Escape first. Like, I would save and quit from here, and then do back of Escape, and then I'd find myself in Desert. I don't like my equipment to deal with whatever might be in Desert Palace.
Oh, I'm gonna check that ether tablet before I go.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some person taking a death there in back of Eastern Palace. This is a very, let's just put it, not friendly mode for beginners. And some person's definitely one of our greener runners tonight.
Yeah. I really like this method of attack from Ed here. Probably shoot some arrows from above too, but Ed's kind of light on ammunition, so I already got both items out of here. If I were Ed, I'd probably just try this once and just bail. Honestly, I think coming back later with some better equipment will probably end up saving time in the long run.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that we know Swamp Palace is a crystal, so You really could get away with waiting. You'll be able to Hera pot later.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
I've never heard this track go on this long.
See, that's what people make MSUs for, is Enemizer.
Yeah, right. This is why I spend so long making sure I get the loops correct. If Mr. Ed had more arrows, this would be a bit better. But some eyes are starting to go down now. Unfortunately, that bomb didn't do anything. Oh boy. God, I really would hate to see this Ed take a death here.
Yeah, with all the time he's invested at this moment, like this could be the worst. That would be the worst.
It would be pretty bad, yeah. Ooh, oh boy.
Oh no!
That eye did not want to bounce back, and that was just the worst. See, it's all right, Ed. Lick your wounds and come back later. Try again. And now some person that was doing the Castle Tower ascent. That was a nice spin. That was neat.
And yeah, Ed is out of there. Not even checking, as you mentioned, the Ether Tablet.
Oh yeah, that was an unfortunate oversight, I think. But it's not likely that he'll come back and give him a hard time. Not likely, but it might. All right, GFE is making his way into pod now. This is gonna get that mirror eventually. Oh, Mr. Ed didn't even check this before just going for it. Yeah, we're going right to desert. He even do backup escape. Damn.
Yeah, I think this is just a little bit risky. Any boss can really show up in desert, and we know there's at least 2 items back there.
Yeah.
So
if I were Ed, I probably would have invested some money into some arrows as well. This dungeon is theoretically completable if the boss lines up correctly.
Well, there's also a bunch of arrows here in desert.
That's true. There are a lot. There are no bombs, but there are plenty of arrows.
The one problem I'll point out is Ed's first pot he picked up is usually one of those common arrow spots, and he did not grab it. I don't know if he's as familiar with this portion.
Maybe he's just not thinking about it. One of the two. All right, we'll take a look. What do you got? Not gonna look. All right. Here's a big key. Specs is going into Hera. Let's see if he plenty more arrows. Try next. Oh well. Well, we're not staying here.
Definitely not.
Nope.
Watch that it was Fire Rod and Ice Rod in the back of Escape.
Well, there's your hook shot, so coming in here wasn't the right decision.
Yeah, we're going to go back up the mountain, probably.
Mm-hmm.
That or go to West Dark World. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, there's choices now. Ed has a lot of choices. And there's your second item. I think Ed is going to pick up that bottle.
I guess that's his plan.
It's not to be Trinax, that's for sure. Specs is ascending, Tower of Hera. Some person just arriving in the Dark World, doing a map check, getting full information about the seed. GFE on his way to get that mirror. Yeah, Ed skipped a lot before going to Aga. Sheesh. Bold moves.
Yeah, this, he's committed to it at least.
Oh,
He hasn't waffled on it at all.
He's not, but let's see what he does with the hook shot. Meanwhile, Specs is unfortunately having to rescale Tower of Hera a few times. Unfortunately, hitting a erroneous mirror, putting him back at the beginning of the dungeon. We are going up Death Mountain, so we're going to Paradox Cave, which is, I kind of like this play for the simple fact that our equipment is pretty low. We have tools, but like offense is not very good. And fighting
seeing how we've kind of been dodging a lot of the enemies with the Burna or the cape so far, I'll take whatever I can do to not have to worry about it.
Right, because if there's a fire out somewhere and there's a dangerous boss in Skull Woods, we're gonna want to be better prepared for it. Like silver arrows would be like manna from heaven right now. Right, GFE having already done Eastern is safe to leave.
Here comes our Paradox 5 checks. Yeah. There's our hammer.
Nice hammer. So there's generic Dark World access. Specs is taking the far riskier route here. Already out of magic, unfortunately. Use that cape to its maximum potential.
Unfortunately, Fighter Sword does not work for slashes on this boss.
No, it does not. Has 25 arrows, so I'd like to see Specs use a bit more of this ammunition there. Like, there's a lot you can do on the horizontal side of things. Is Ed going back to Hera, or is he's checking the Ether Tablet? He's realizing he forgot to do that. I can't imagine he'd go back in and go for Vitreous now. Although with the hammer...
I don't know if the hammer is exactly better.
Well, he's got a score to settle.
He is a stubborn man.
Yeah. Or horse. Wow. I can't believe he got through that untouched. And Specs also not making it. Let's see if GFE will fare a little bit better. It has fewer arrows than either. Well, Ed had 9. Specs had 25. Yeah, GFE's out. Nope.
No, he has to reclimb, unfortunately. He didn't get the book or the glove yet. He knows progression's here. And a bit more practice on his hammer, actually. Really good so far.
Yeah, a lot more damage. Coming at it with a full health bar, too, so can be a little cavalier about positioning. But still, you want to be careful.
Yeah, I'm still surprised he's going for this. Like, the timing would have been better if he waited for, like, hey, this is going to be my last thing.
Yeah.
The only the only look at this I would say is kind of like, okay, maybe he's a little concerned, is maybe saying the Pyramid Fairy?
Yeah, that's kind of your incentive to do this now, is that this is a red crystal. And the other one is in Thieves Town.
Yeah. So if this is a Pyramid Fairy seed, then, like, I think this is a great decision. But if you could wait, like, could we have done better equipment-wise?
Yeah, well, we'll see. Alright. I think you could shoot the eye from the platform. Okay. 5, 6... Oh boy, run out of arrows. All right, stay above the eye. Whenever you have to, use the hammer on Vitreous, make sure you stay above the eye. And that's first blood goes to Mr. Ed.
First crystal blood, at least.
Yeah.
GFE was one of our first with the pendants.
Mm-hmm. He's about to get his hook shot, and there's Specs' hook shot. Some person will eventually get that mirror.
I will say it's very interesting. I didn't realize it, but Giffy actually did not even go after Vidi. Really kind of a little bit more conservative of a play there.
Yeah, I don't know if he scouted that. I don't think we got the compass. Did he see it and leave?
It's
Probably,
potential.
Yeah.
So Ed is going after Spike Cave instead of Spiral Cave, and just a heart piece there.
Ed tends to be a little aggressive with his skips. So this hookshot will get us to the Western Dark World. We could go see Johnny Two Bombs with the hammer in Hype Cave.
And I'd be a little bit more tempted to make that kind of play right now. Like, if we're being aggressive, I think you just rush Swamp here. Like, you've seen a Trinex.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point. You can go right after, because like you don't know what bosses are where. You have no idea. So I don't think you can afford to. Well, you can maybe afford to, but I don't think it's practical to start going after to start skipping dungeons on the basis that you can't beat the bosses. Because pretty much the only boss you're unable to beat right now is a Trinex.
That or Cold.
Colt's there,
So
you're right.
anything-
You don't have a fire source. Yeah, you're correct. That is a very, very nasty position, little fireball.
Yeah, I mean, like, the only other thing I could say to do would be maybe I go to Thieves first, see if I can get the 5-6, and then do Swamp into Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, I like that idea. And it. GFE charging back up the mountain.
This is an interesting route from Ed. He was very, you were saying how aggressive he plays, and now what's his current decision? It's, let's do these extra checks a little bit,
Yeah, I mean, Catfish you don't want to really leave behind. You could theoretically route it in after the Pyramid Fairy if you want, but I mean, if he's gonna go to the West Dark World via the hookshot, which he doesn't really have to do since he has Glove Moonpearl Hammer, so kinda superfluous, but here he is. Oh boy, this just enough magic to get through. Sheesh.
Yeah, even with Red Mail, this is not a safe overworld by any stretch.
We're gonna see. Oh, Specs did a Spiral Cave, and I didn't see what was there. So we're gonna see Back of Escape, which nobody has done yet. I think. Well, Mr. Ed is in position to do this now. He can do this with a mirror. There's the Fire Rod, so he's gonna want to do that.
This would be a very like pseudo inverted kind of feel of a route,
Right?
From Ed.
Yeah. Inverted.
Exactly. It's like fake powder.
Fake powder, yes.
Or fake real powder.
I love fake real powder. Oh, good. GFE's giving us another shot at Spiral Cave. See what's in here. We have a lot of stuff.
And Ed has skipped the Back of Escape again.
Yeah, he's not doing it. That's going to cost him. Specs is
Yeah.
showing us Johnny. What you got, Johnny? Some arrows so far. Arrows and money. There's a boomerang. And a heart container. All right, well, oh boy. Yeah, if Ed decides to never do the Back of Escape, then yeah, he's not going to have a good time. Maybe some cold stairs will, or the Skullblitz entry will bottleneck him there. I mean, we do have a Trinex we need to contend with.
I think the hardest part from watching Ed is, what causes you to remember what you've forgotten at some points, or what you skipped. It's, which skip is valuable to check now.
Yeah, as you skip more and more things, it becomes harder and harder to revisit them because you start having to go out of your way for some of them. Fortunately, Back of Escape is not one of those. but still, you know, you don't want to go charging around the world looking for more stuff.
By the way, I really liked GFE's use of the hook shot actually to get through that spike.
Yeah. Another thing in Enemizer is that it completely recontextualizes Thieves Town. Thieves Town is a completely different dungeon in Enemizer.
Yeah, it's a lag fest.
Well, not just that. Not just that, but it becomes... half of it becomes optional. If the boss is shuffled in any seed where you go into Thieves Town, you can just go right to the boss here. You don't have to open the skylight. I think that was another Trinex, though. Yeah, that was another Trinex. Oh my gosh. Oh, Titan's been in Thieves Town. Stop me if you've heard this one.
When did we switch over to the vanilla game? By the way, really... What?
That's a little bit deeper. You're not wrong about the lag, though.
That last screen always. But the other part of this is GFE having a really smooth kill on that Vidi fight.
Yeah.
Pretty much taking the exact strategies you were talking about, you know, really relying on his bow, started off with some good cape spins, and just taking full advantage of it.
Yeah. I mean, you want the hammer is usually a last resort kind of thing. Bex is showing a Swamp Palace, so this is new. We have new information coming in for both Ed and Specs right now. Nice boomerang. I like that. Ed is showing us the back of Thieves Town. Don't know what's going to be here. There's a shovel. Okay. Yeah, it does not need to open the skylight. Unfortunately, that clicked before Specs got through, so we'll need to lay another bomb. Wisely deciding not to do it, because you know what? Some tricks in Enemizer you can't do, and Diver Down may be one of those. Like, depending on what's in this room, you may not be able to do that little trick.
He still would have to be able to do it, though, because he has already spent the key.
Oh, no. Oh, you can't do it.
Yeah, this is not a...
Yeah, that ain't happening, homie. You're going to have to come back. Oh, man. Yeah, it's... That's one of the things that Enemizer teaches you, is that sometimes you have to do something completely different than you're used to. If you want to do this based on muscle memory, not going to happen. So, yeah, you're going to have to reset the dungeon. Ugh, that stinks. Yeah, it's almost not worth doing Diver Down in Enemizer. I've seen that yellow spike there so often, and that's not the only thing that can block that. And some person, you know, bravely taking a stab at Vitreous, and unfortunately not getting any satisfaction out of that. Ed is skipping the. No, he's doing digging first. He might do the Smith chain. He might.
At this point, you know, he's skipped so much, and he's starting to say, you know, I found my second Trinex.
Yeah.
That's not a great feeling.
No. I mean, these skips are starting to compound against themselves. Oh, Specs had a good opportunity getting that spike out of the way. Might have been able to dive her down. He's gonna eat that block, yeah. Yeah, if he had kept it on the right of the screen.
Yeah, that was his best chance, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh. Don't go crash it into thieves, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, they unfortunately do not just allow you to pass through them, even with the hammer dash.
Nice half magic.
Very appropriate timing for Ed there.
Yeah. Imagine, if you will, standing still while some dude is charging at you with a hammer. and still taking his stuff. GFE also skipping the fire rod in the back of escape.
Definitely not a conventional way for you to do those checks. So I don't know, like, unfortunately, it's really because of the fact that both GFE and Ed deciding to do Spike Cave, which put them into a North Dark World route instead of a save and quit to Sank.
And what you could have done, I think the most efficient way of doing this would have been to portal to the light world, go into the back of escape, getting the items, and then just leaving.
So this time Specs did reset the room and has instead gone with the get the key first.
Yeah.
You know there's got to be a lot of frustration on that one.
Yeah. That's kind of a lesson though, like a rite of passage. And Enemizer does teach you that, you know, sometimes these tricks that you normally do, sometimes not worth it. Sometimes can't happen.
Well, and one of the other dungeons that's well known for its tricks is, of course, Ice Palace, and Ice is a pendant, so we might not have to deal with those problems. But we do get the Master Sword out of the Skull Big Chest.
That's a nice find for GFE. You know, Ed's been looking for one of those. He's the first person with that Master Sword. Yeah, we're gonna pet check.
Good opportunity for a save and quit potentially after this as well for GFE.
Yeah.
To get to that back of escape check.
Probably wants to justify the Eastern Palace very badly. And that's a bottle. We do not need that. We do not need that. Did Ed remember to dig? I didn't see if he used the dig. And nothing on that check either.
The book really was for that hook shot. That seems to be its purpose. And there's Ether out of the Swamp Palace Big Chest.
Yeah, we haven't seen either dungeon's method of entry, neither Misery Mire nor Turtle Rock. See, this is another place where you can't dive her down. These
those anti-fairies will eat up your red block.
They will. So, and they bounce in such a way that you won't be able to do it. Yeah, Specs is now realizing that. Yeah, this is a very unfriendly Swamp Palace.
Yep, you can be stubborn as you want on that, but this time they're just not going to give you the opportunity.
Right. Definitely not. Let's see if Ed realizes that. And some person, though, walking into Trinax and Desert Palace, realizing that, oh, I can in fact beat this. Not sure if he knows the compass technology.
Yeah, that's a newer thing in the last bit.
Yeah. It's also not something you could think about doing. I was really hoping that'd be a refill for Specs. Probably could use that extra health.
I will mention, of course, that this is our daily race tonight. We had 13 entrants in this race. And we have already had actually 2 forfeits on this one. This is the price of Enemizer, folks.
Good, a mushroom.
Enemizer is a mode known for causing frustration and can very quickly result in people saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Or in Ed's case, Wallmasters saying, go back to the beginning, please.
Oh, God. Like in the last room of GT. You ever have that one?
Oh, I'm more used to the Ice Palace right before we're dropping into Colds there, but yeah.
Oh, that stinks too.
But a very nice Armo script here for Specs. Gets the kill, and there is our prize. Just 20 bucks.
Yeah. One more thing about Enemizer is that the boss item will always appear in the middle of the screen, even if it's a vanilla boss.
That's almost the hardest thing to remember about Enemizer.
Oh, man! See, there it is. Where did that come from? Why does that need to be there? It doesn't. But why is it? It's there. You think Ed might just skip the left side and just ignore the whole diver down process altogether?
I'd say there's a decent chance on that.
We are, in fact, correct. And we know that's nothing, so Ed will not suffer for that one, at least.
Oh,
nice.
did you see that hammer? Yeah,
I did. I was totally impressed by that.
This is what you get with somebody of GFE's caliber on one of these races. The experience shows the tight control of being able to stop that hammer dash right at the perfect moment to kill that thief.
Ed realizing this isn't going to happen. It's almost like in Enemizer, you should just do this. Just do Swamp Palace the old-fashioned way. He almost went down into the other side anyway. Are we gonna bat check? Just bombs. Okay. Was powder in swamp?
I did not notice where that came up.
Yeah. Well, we can always fake mushroom. Or real mushroom. Fake real mushroom, real fake powder, fake real powder. That was a refill for Ed. Oh, the mushroom turn-in was for powder. Okay. Well, we can fake powder and just skip a step then, couldn't we? You know, I've actually never seen that. I've actually never seen a situation where I fake powder and then go turn it in and it's powder, and then I would probably just let out the biggest groan. And yes, vanilla powder does remind me of protein shakes. Specs is charging into Skull Woods with this fire rod, gonna get a master sword, possibly beat this dungeon. That's cool.
Well, the problem here is that if I was in Specs' shoes, I'm doing the boss first.
Yes, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. You're right. You're not wrong. That is where he's going.
Yep, he is immediately heading to the back.
It's another good script from Ed. GFE is checking the Bombos tablet before going anywhere
I think we
else.
saw was like just some cash.
It's some money, yeah, but he does have that sword. So are we just missing an ice rod?
And a medallion.
Medallions, yeah, medallions. We know where Quake is. We know where Ether is. You see, this is why I can't use Palette Shuffle. Even though, for some of you earlier randomizer guys out there, using Palette Shuffle and Enemizer is actually the old school way to do it. Used to be that Enemizer seeds were Palette Shuffled, for just because. And they had this weird code at the bottom of this file select screen. Oh boy, that's an Argus. Oh, that's nasty. That's not great. Well, okay.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my least favorite bosses to find in Skull.
Yeah, that's not good.
And this arena is already small to begin with because of the spikes, and even with the spikes not moving, the fact of the matter is that if Argus ends up in the middle of the room, as he did there for Specs, his circle of puffs is just gonna hit the whole arena.
You know, I've never seen a full bloom Argus. It was beautiful. It was absolutely majestic. There you go. Wisely
Of course, I
switched to
do
the
see
hammer.
chat going, we want Moldorm
Right.
or a Helma.
Right, no Helmacopter. Yeah, Chad loves the Helmet. Helmacopter is a fan favorite. But you know, you've seen Helmacopter. Have you ever seen the full Argus bloom? You've seen it now, and it was beautiful. Ed, meanwhile, picking up another sword in Mire Shed, and there's the last medallion.
Yeah, Ice Rod from Go probably at this rate.
Yeah. And the more we get, the further away Ed will get from that fire rod at the back of Escape. So even though like Specs is kind of pulling up the rear as far as the progression goes, I think he's probably in the best position. Item-wise anyway.
Yeah.
Ed is charging into Pendant Ice Palace. Where was that ether again, anyway?
Could that have been left side?
Oh, that was in the Swamp Big Chest? Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, not great. And GFE appears to be going for the full clear here.
Mm-hmm. Was Misery Mire ether?
Well, luckily Mire is a pendant, so we might not need it.
Okay. So's Ice, so... Oh, yeah, Ed's checking the rule of fire. Okay. Yeah, he's in here looking for Fire Rod, and he's not going to find it.
By the way, here's GFE showing how that diver down needs to be done. With that, getting the spike off screen so it can't roll back in.
But, well done by GFE. Very well done.
That's the thing. While GFE was one of our third runner into Dark World behind Specs and Ed, his experience, his just adaptability to this mode, he's definitely a big fan of Enemizer. I can tell you. So is just allowing him to chicken in the top of Swamp. As some person also finds one of our Trinexes. That's their second Trinex, and I gotta believe that's a frustrating moment.
Yeah, I would have to think so. I mean, so Enemizer is really good for teaching that adaptability. It's a very, very good skill to have as far as just anything goes for Randomizer, You want to be able to just switch gears on the fly for a lot of different things, and testing your adaptability in Enemizer is definitely showcases just how good you can be with adapting to really tough situations. On like if you're let's say you have a little flub in execution and you need to recover. It's definitely good. It's definitely good for honing your abilities there.
I will say, if Ether is required in this seed, Ed is in terrible shape with that left side skip.
Yeah, there it is. You're not wrong. Okay. Okay, there we go. Sure, Specs is not thrilled to see that after that struggle with Argus. Let's see how GFE handles this one.
Does he try to?
Not impossible, although no, now it's impossible. Now you can't do it. Like the window of opportunity was there, and now it's gone. Like once both those anti-fairies settle into that routine there, yeah, it's done. That was one really jerky guard. Some person about to hit his fire rod.
Nice memory there on some person's side.
Hmm. We're about to see what Turtle Rock is, because I can't imagine Ed is going up the mountain for any other reason than to do Dark Death Mountain. That is true. The irony of the powder being locked behind the mushroom, which is locked behind those anti-fairies in Swamp Palace. All right. So there's a Ed can recover from the fire rod being in the back of Escape, but I don't think he can recover from Turtle Rock being ether. Mire is ether, so if the ice rod is in there, that's bad for Ed too.
That's even worse in some regards.
Yeah, right.
There's Master Sword for some person. And here we go. Turtle Rock is...
It's ether.
Ether.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. Yeah, it's done. Oh, man. Sorry, Ed. Oh, he's cooked. Oh, no. That's bad.
The thing is, I know Ed well enough to say he is going to play this out either way and just have a ball with it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Having either be Turtle Rock is, ugh. Oh, man.
A double ether seed.
Yeah. Well, you get to see that ice rod. That's Ed's saving grace. They're silver, so that's nice. This is a spiral cave, because he hasn't done this. So remember what I said about fake powdering? And I'm not even going to make fun of it, because honestly, I would have done the same thing.
You got the money, you got the bottles. You're going to go to Witch's Hut next. Like, it's okay.
Like, I got a flute. I'm like, I got a flute. I got this mushroom. I got this red cane. Like, yeah, sure. I'll go do this first. Oh, bitter irony. He's about to get his fire rod. So let me think here. I'd imagine Ed's gonna go clean up Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like you've got to go, start clearing some crystals, get what you can done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it looks like we're going to see Skull from Ed first.
So for what I'm seeing here, it looks like the ice rod is going to be locked behind that ether. And since there's so many... God, what is the plural of Trinex? Is it Trinaces? Or Trinexes?
I think it's just Trinexes.
Oh, so we'll go Trinexes. Trinaces sounds too fancy. Ugh. Diarrhea mouth. I apologize. Anyway, there are more than one Trinex in the seed. So a lot of the dungeons are being blocked by the combination Ice Rod, Fire Rod, and if that Ice Rod is in fact locked behind ether in some way, then Ed is going to bottleneck to left side swamp pretty quickly here. There's not very much left he can do. And GFE is going to show us what's inside Misery Mire. I think Ed's going to be the first one untempered.
Gonna make that Argus a lot better.
Yeah. That and silver arrows, but you know.
Unfortunately for GFE, the big question is what's gonna send him in for his back for his fire rod. Because really it's looking like I wouldn't be shocked if the answer at this point is gonna be Ice Rod and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that it does look like that. There's only 2 checks in Misery Mire. Ice Rod could very well be here. Things do like to hide in Misery Mire. Really random things. Although I suspect that at the rate this is going, Ed might go back to Swamp Palace before GFE goes to the back of Escape. I'm not really sure how likely that is. Like, GFE has more to explore with that either. But without that fire rod, might get locked out of Turtle Rock. So we'll not be able to go very far in there. Of course, it's a God Mire, too.
Only when you don't want it.
Yeah. He's just going for the boss. Unfortunately, do not get to see another full bloom Argus. Oh well.
That temperance sword really cutting down Argus quick.
Yeah. Some beauty only happens once in a lifetime, huh? Oh. There we go. Okay. Damn, GFE's a jerk. GFE, you jerk. Some person looking like going to swamp. You know, Specs is ascending the mountain with a fire rod, with ether, with a red cane. So keep your eye on Specs for a bit because I think we're going to see some answers coming up in Turtle Rock. Do you think Ed goes to Eastern Palace before going to Swamp Palace?
I think so.
Mm. Yep, that's where he's going. No, it's Pod. Well, he's going to Eastern Palace after Pod. Almost for sure. Almost for sure. I'm very interested in seeing Turtle Rock from Specs. Mire chicken! Mire chicken! Oh, it's an empty room. Oh no, there are worms! Acid worms! Who saw that one coming?
I mean, it's definitely one of the bosses we have not seen yet, so sure.
Acid worms. And oh, that's a key. All right. Very bold move coming into... Oh, it's green pendant, that's why. Okay. Suddenly it makes more sense. I knew that. Yeah. I knew that was green pendant. Wisely going back in.
He wants the items.
Definitely. I didn't count the items in Palace of Darkness the first time we were in, so I'm not sure if there are any left in here.
Damn.
Well, we'll find out. The hard way. Oh, that is no ice rod.
So some person though in a swamp right now. We'll see if they decide to do left side and get that ether medallion that we now know is required.
Yeah. Or Mothula in a room with spikes. Yeah, not so tough with that old move, huh, pal?
I feel like this is a personal attack on the moth for some reason.
Nah, we got no beef. I figured
No
that
beef?
dude out a long time ago.
Okay.
Alright, we got a big key and the heart container in Turtle Rock so far. Have to imagine the other thing's a small key on the left there. So that means further advancement is possible for GFE if and when he gets here.
Yeah, this feels like it's something GFE has just forgotten about, to be honest. Knowing GFE, he and I have definitely done some racing together, and one of the things I know he is not a user of is a map tracker. So if he forgot it, and that's all there is to it.
Oh, that's a shame. That would be tragic. There's tragedy on the left side of your screen right now. Man, this could be a real tortoise and hare scenario for Specs, couldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Specs is in control here.
Yeah, once that ice rod is found, he'll be in go mode. I think it has to be in Turtle Rock. It wasn't in Mire. It's either in Turtle Rock or it's in Mimic Cave. Can't think of anything else we haven't done. Green Pendant turn-in?
Yeah, we didn't see that from GFE yet.
Yeah.
He's probably delaying that until he finishes up this.
Mm-hmm. We know it's not pedestal. And Ed, I believe, got all 3 items out of Ice Palace.
And there is the Armos kill for some person, so there's a crystal on their side.
With silver arrows.
Yeah, nice kill there. Always feels good to have silvers for that fight.
Yeah. I would love to see the Ice Rod be on the Turtle Rock boss. That would amuse me. I would be very amused by that.
I don't know, can it be on the TR boss?
You know, I don't know.
This is one of those things that I've heard a lot of mixed messages on from runners and people who've read into logic of this randomizer, saying that technically the game still expects you would have had Ice Rod to beat the TR boss.
Yeah, I know that's true for the bow. So it may actually be true for the Ice Rod as well. But we still got Laser Bridge to check, so... And we're about to see Green Pendant turn in, so who's correct? This could very well switch right back into GFE's favor momentarily. And unfortunately not. So yeah, this is going to be on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, in terms of advantage, Specs definitely has the advantage in terms of the rest of the stuff done, being so close to go. GFE, probably next in line.
You're right there.
Yep,
Good. Okay.
I said that, but GFE heading to Ice Palace.
There it
And
is.
there's the ice ride. Yep, that is go mode for Specs.
Yeah. Probably still digging for a sword. Wow.
I was about to say, Specs might not get a temperate sword, but
Wow.
there's a temperate sword for Specs.
Bam! Yo, Specs is sitting pretty right now. Sitting mad pretty right now.
Yeah, Specs in great position on this one now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our two left side runners, GFE, has skipped back of escape very, very hard.
That's
Whereas Ed skipped left side swap for the big key and thus did not get the ether medallion that we need for Turtle Rock.
That spin was so cool. That spin was so cool. I respect this Blue Cane blind here. It's so weird seeing blind in this massive, massive room.
Yeah, you don't realize that, like, you see a screen and you're like, it's just a room. Like, there's no difference in size.
Oh, boy. Look where we're going.
Oh, hey. Ed
Yeah.
is gonna pull ahead of GFE here for sure.
Yeah. But Specs is already taking the lead.
Yeah, this is Specs' race to lose at this point.
Yes. I would expect Mr. Ed to go just straight to Turtle Rock upon finding this ether.
Yeah, I don't see anything else really in his position.
Right. I mean, I don't think he'll go to Mire. Maybe he might if he thinks he's feeling behind and needs to make a bold play after finding this ether. See if GFE remembers about the back of escape at any point. It's a start with the flute. It's not going to happen with the flute, but like a start at Sanctuary may jog his memory. What else would push GFE there? He's already done. He's already done King's Tomb and Graveyard Ledge. Yeah. Jeez, he has no reason to go there ever, does he?
No, this is really a save and quit. Has to be his.
Yeah, he's going to. Yeah,
he's climbing the mountain.
Yeah, he's going to Turtle Rock without the fire rod. Ah, it's disappointing. Womp check it. Yes. Yes. I love you, Mr. Ed. I snorted. It's so funny. One of the things that it tickles me about Enemizer, aside from the random chickens in certain locations, you ever lift a bush? Sometimes they like you'll lift a bush and some severed, flickering head will just come charging out of you. And just fly away. You're just like, ew, get away. It's gross, disgusting. Sometimes enemies will get stuck in place on like a pot or a wall or something, and they'll spin uncontrollably. Or what else is very amusing? Throwing fish off the mountain on Death Mountain. They'll either bounce along the clouds or they'll hit water. There's a lot of real wacky stuff about Enemizer. It's just funny. It's just funny. Enemizer is frankly very amusing, if difficult. It can be really punishing, especially at the beginning of the game, and it could really test your affinity for the game in general. But man, it is nothing if it's not very amusing. Trying to think, can Ed catch up? Ed has already done Hera, so that's going to be Specs' last dungeon before entering GT. No, Ed is going to stay behind for a while, so yes, Specs is going to stay pretty far ahead here. Barring some execution problems. Some person is on a tempered sword, Argus. That does not have half magic. Down to 3 hearts. Needs to be a bit careful.
Yeah, luckily that red mail's really helping on this one.
Yeah.
But this is still a very difficult fight.
Yeah. The conveyor belt is not doing any favors. Alright, I think as long as he avoids hitting the spike, should be alright. Oh, hey, oof, what a shot.
There we go. Oof.
Ah, nice. Alright. Specs lands the first ice rod, and the first head is down. That floor is not getting ice because that floor is insulated. Because it's, the desert. Also, and it's hot.
No way.
Yeah, it's a hot floor. Ice melted. The ice melted in Desert Palace because, it's a desert and the desert is hot. Head cannon. All right, let's see what GFE decides to do after getting through to McCave, because after that, can't go any further because that big key is locked by the fire rod, which GFE does not have. So we'll not be able to advance further along into Turtle Rock, which means we won't get that ice rod either.
Yeah, unfortunately, this double dip is not even a good double dip for him.
Yeah. Some person that was taking some time to think. They're doing a high five in Turtle Rock with GFE and Mr. Ed.
Going very different directions, unfortunately.
Right. Well, when you high five in different directions. I have never high fived somebody standing adjacent to them with the same hand. That's not how high fives work. All right, this will be the terminus for GFE. Maybe Thieves Town. Now that I'm thinking now that Specs isn't here, I'm thinking maybe Specs goes not Specs. Maybe GFE goes to Thieves Town to get more of the checks in there.
Yeah, he did skip the back.
Looks like that's what's happening. Yeah.
And with that, Specs takes down crystal number 6. Just has to return for that vitreous kill.
Yeah, that's on the way up to Ganon's tower. So that'll put Specs first.
To the point of Lana saying this seed needs more Trinex, we have had our max allotted Trinex quota. That was our second Trinex. So no more Trinex.
No more
At
Trinex.
least for Specs.
We're done. No ice Trinex today. It would be really nice if on ice Trinex, if the fire had melted the floor. But I know the game's not coded that way.
And then could the ice head refreeze it?
That would be sweet! That'd be sick! That'd be awesome!
It can't become just, it has to become water tiles, though.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That would be fantastic. You know, this game just got decompiled, right? We can just we can make that the PC version? Sure. Some person know doing vitreous the easy way. Look at that.
Yeah, nice use of cape, and then quick, easy kill with those silvers.
Yeah,
You'll love to see it.
Yeah, what an easy fight. How did anybody have so much trouble with this?
I don't know.
Yeah. Not like this is some advanced high-level 6 boss or anything like that, right?
No, not at all.
Nah. Right, and Specs mirroring over to Tower of Hera. Or perhaps Tower of Hera. And Mr. Ed about to hit go mode momentarily. Bam, there it is. Why aren't you he's not going to get that last sword, but doesn't need it. Nice bomb setup from Specs for that Hera pot.
Specs surprisingly trying to save some arrows here. He's got plenty of silvers, though, so...
Yeah.
Just watch out for that pit, please.
Nailed it. Stay in the middle. In the middle. In the middle. In the middle. Wait, hold on. Really?
Yep. Hera's the one exception.
I guess. Hera, by the way, you can actually finish a boss on the platform in Enemizer. And if you do that, the item will pop up right over your head. That's a bonk. Well, it might still be a bonk. GFE is going to get his fire rod. Crisis averted.
Unfortunately, he's not going to be very happy.
Oh no, he's going to be very unhappy about this. That puts him in lockstep with Mr. Ed, doesn't it? Oh, not really. He needs to go get that fire rod, ice rod, in Turtle Rock. Oh, Maron. Oh boy, he's going to be even less happy about that. Oh yeah, we got GT Big Guessing Games, don't we? We're already late. We're late. We're late to the party. Yeah, darn it. I guess number 1. I've already lost. Therefore, I am disqualified.
I clearly had been thinking 22 the whole time because...
There it is.
Yeah.
There it is. Who said 6?
Wait, wasn't that 5?
That 5? Okay.
Yeah.
2. Oh, Specs didn't even bother going to Hope Room, huh? I totally guessed 5, by the way.
I definitely believe you.
Yeah, I totally did. Totally. Well, we'll need to see what's in the ice room today. I know a lot of people were looking forward to that. It was probably something boring like, I don't know, ice moth. Wait, we still have 2 moths, right?
Could have been a cold stare. I don't think we've seen a cold yet.
Yeah. Cold stare on ice? Pfft, come on. Imagine cold stare being on ice. Look at this! Look at this strawberry ice that's here in this room. That makes me want a popsicle. Do you want a popsicle?
I want to play without palette shuffle.
I hear that.
Not for me, at least.
I hear that. I hear that, Sniper. I hear that. Now I definitely want a popsicle though. Oh look, here's a Moldor. I was really hoping this would be like an Argus or something. Trying to think what could be. I think Cold Stare has to be in the room, in the Molder 2 room. I think, because we haven't seen one yet.
I think we've seen every other boss location besides Armos 2.
I think we've seen. I think we've seen 2 moths. I think there's one in Pod. It might be Mothula. It could actually be Vanilla, because we've only seen 1 Moldorm. I swear we've seen 2. We've seen 2 Trinexes. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out. It could be everything. It could even be a Moldorm. Imagine that. This is my favorite room. This is my favorite room. There. Watch it spin. Yeah! Look at it go! Yeah! I love it. That is my favorite room in Enemizer for that alone right there. GFE getting his ice rod and probably really not happy to see it. Also not getting that last sword on the laser bridge. Well, it is Moth. Okay. So we have seen 2 moths. I just, was precognitive.
Well, I guess that means that we hadn't seen a cold, and the only place it could have been, well, I guess it could have been an ice palace.
Yeah, we didn't see it there.
And it could have been Armos 2.
Well, that's 2 moths and 2 blind. 2 moths and 2 Triness, right? So, Cold Stare. We saw Helmsaur. We saw Vitreous. Yeah.
We'll head into GT now.
As Specs is reaching the apex. Nope.
Rough go on that pattern.
Just a bit. Some person, though, is still looking for that ice rod and is cleaning up checks that have not been done yet. All he needs to do is go to Turtle Rock, and that'll be the answer. Ed giving us a look at Hope Room.
And gonna go right side.
Yeah. That looked like a biblically accurate angel dropping into the pyramid. Oh, hi, Ganon. You're not shuffled. Too bad we can't have a Ganon shuffle into this.
He shuffles into multiple Ganons.
Get the fire ring. Bleh. GFE getting up those Trinex. Mr. Ed about to get his big key in the next room. I think that's 3 and one more ought to do it, and there you go.
Yep, that is going to be get your GGs in chat for Specs. Just has that bridge to cross. And finishing first on the restream with a 141.35. Also, 4th overall. We've had some finishes so far. High Ruler tonight, first place overall with a 136.33. Furious Magic, second with a 137.54. Shire with a 140.46. And once again, Specs, 4th place overall tonight, first on the restream with a 141.35. We'll keep you posted on the other runners as our restreamed runners finish up tonight.
Yeah. You know they didn't skip Left Side Swamp.
Exactly. Or the back of Escape.
Yeah. Correct.
And that's the thing, like, if we want to talk about some of the difference in the time between Specs and the top of, that 5-minute difference between Specs and High Ruler, really that can come down to just some familiarity with the mode and, some of those plays. We talk about how rough Swamp was.
Yeah.
Specs took a couple of deaths back there, had a really rough time in Swamp, and that could have spelled the difference.
Yeah, there was a lot of moments where Specs kind of lagged behind due to some execution or just lack of familiarity with certain things that make other certain things impossible in Enemizer, like the diver down scenario, things like that. But his route was pretty much on point. Don't skip this and that.
Yep.
Pretty thorough the whole way through. And even though having done Eastern Palace along with everything before going to Ag, I still managed to pull ahead. And I believe that is Specs joining us right now. So hello and GG Specs, congratulations on getting first on Restream.
Thanks, I appreciate that. This was my first ever Enemizer, so I'm happy with the results.
That is a
Nice.
pretty good result for a first ever Enemizer. So what are some things that that you've seen out of this that you really weren't expecting? Like
My biggest two things that went bad for me. One, I dove pinned at Eastern at the beginning, got nothing out of it. That was a total waste of time. The other big thing was Swamp left side, which ended up being my savior here because I got the Ether medallion for TR out of it. But if you were watching me, I had so many problems. There'd be 3 attempts to get left side. So
Yeah.
Swamp, I gotta remember next in the future, like, just do the easy thing, skip diver down for the most part, and just do the easy thing. I'll probably save more time on most seeds.
Yeah, you can scout it out and see, but if there's a yellow spike there, it's gonna be tough. There was you did have an out when you had the yellow spike on the right side of the room. You could have done it at that point, but
I saw that, but by that point, I was like, I've given up. There's no way I'm doing it. I'm just gonna get messing it up. I was over it.
I hear that. Yeah,
I was just gonna do it the easy way at that point.
If you want to watch this back, I would recommend GFE was able to pull it off a little bit later in the run. So if you want to see as kind of an example, he really was able to. You're pretty much I wouldn't call it a pure despawn, but it's similar.
Okay, I'll have to look at that because that would be good to know. Thanks, Jesse. That's a good idea. I'll do that.
All right. So what really put you ahead here? And I earlier had used the analogy of the tortoise and the hare, was that you're pretty thorough routing towards the crescendo of this particular seed, because going into I think coming out of Tower of Hera, most of the items were already obtained. So a couple of like GFE and Mr. Ed were kind of incentivized to start skipping things. So Left Side Swamp was skipped. The Back of Escape was ignored for a good long while. So your thorough route ended up putting you pretty decently ahead of both of them, despite the difficulty you had with the Enemizer in general. So that was pretty fortunate on your part, and kudos
Thank you
for that.
Yeah, I decided to just be thorough this seed because I'm like, this is my first Enemizer. I'm not going to win. I'm going to do better off if I stick to my game plan, check everything, and also give me more safeties to deal with Enemizer and make newer. That's the smart way to play. And so I'm like, not going to win. Let's just stick to my game plan, check everything. And at least that way, my only problem in the seed would be dealing with Enemizer and not me last locating something. Yeah. So I was like, I don't care about winning. I don't care about being the fastest. I care about being decent. And that was my logic, since it was my first time in Enemizer. And it seemed to have worked out. So if I had just done Swamp better, skipped Eastern, I would have had a much better time.
And Mr. Ed dropping into Ganon right now. Oh, does not get this phase skip here. We'll have to settle for another trident toss, but that's prime real estate here in the top of the room here. Oh. Plenty of health here. Manage. Yeah, so left side swamp having ether was pretty significant, but it was a recoverable skip for the mere fact that both dungeons were ether. So advancing in the seed was pretty difficult without getting it. So Ed eventually bottleneck back to that. Yeah.
Yeah, having Ice Rod be in TR even also was helpful for me.
Yeah. Putting GFE getting the ether medallion out of Eastern Palace, and that's a GG for Mr. L. What is he doing? It's Ed, funny guy. Ed coming in at overall second on the restream, 7th place for the race time at GG time, 148.12. GFE now ascending the tower, and some person getting that last sword on Laser Bridge. That was also a nice pull from you there. That was very fortunate, that sword on Laser Bridge. The other one was in Mire Shed, if you were curious.
That is good to know. Yeah, thanks.
Right, and here is Mr. Ed. Hello, Ed.
Hello, I knew I was doomed. I knew I was doomed right off the rip when I did not get the money from this game. And I hope that you scolded me for that.
No, I didn't, but I was too busy praising GFE for getting it.
Who does left side swamp?
Me. Horribly. It took me 3 tries.
Everybody who wins this seed.
Yeah, I'm...
Well, as I was saying before you got here, it's that was a recoverable skip because of what ether was containing there. So you would eventually bottleneck back to that because you can't advance into Turtle Rock without the fire rod, without there's no getting into Misery Mire doing that for what ended up being nothing. So you just bottleneck back to that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that was a better a miss than the fire rod in the back of Escape. So what took you so long to get to the back of Escape? Is my other question.
I didn't feel like doing it.
Didn't feel like doing it. Yep.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it was kind of like it was. I mean, I don't know, just like the way that I chose like a route, like a save and quit there would have been kind of like inconvenient. So basically, the whole idea behind it is, I'll just kind of let it go for as long as possible.
I'm gonna pause the ad because I really want to shout out that conveyor belt bomb for that Knox from GFE. That was absolutely sick. That was totally sick. I'm
GFE
sorry. Continue.
No, yeah. GFE even talked about. We talked about it before the race started. That he intended on last locating 3 things. So by the looks of it, he followed suit in me. So
It was the fire rod. He actually found the ether medallion in the left side swamp, which is what put you so far ahead of him because you guys were both missing the fire rod for a while. But him having ether put him into Misery Mire and put him into Turtle Rock, whereas that didn't happen for you. You got the fire rod at the back of Escape first, and then you went to Swamp Palace, which led to being a humongous difference between you two in this seed.
I believe it. Well, Specs, GG's to you, dude.
Thanks, Mr. Ed. This was my first Enemizer, so happy with how I lucked out. Was left side swamp really early.
Yeah, you beat me in ladder the other day, by the way, so I'm not happy with you about that.
That was one of the worst seeds I ever played.
I hate it. Yeah, I just walked away from my can't. Look at this Moldorm. I love it. Spinning around. I'd love that room so much. Enemizers are so funny. God, everything is ugly in this credit sequence.
And what kind of really like threw me off for like a curve is like dying to Vitreous and Hera was one thing.
Yeah.
But the only reason why I even went back to there was knowing the fact that was a red crystal, and when I kind of had like everything mapped out in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, well, I'll just go to Thieves Town, I'll do the other red crystal, and then hey, there's Trinex, so it's like, okay, well, screw that.
Yeah.
And then I forgot about the fact I didn't beat Thieves Town, and I go talking to the bomb guy, and he's like, no, you cannot have a big bomb.
Oh, you cannot
lose.
Well, thanks, Trinex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we figured that was the reason you were going back into Tower of Hera to beat Vitreous with the equipment you had. Unfortunately, very short on arrows during both of the times you were in there.
Yeah, that was my own fault. I got nobody to blame but myself and Professor Render.
Professor Render for putting that there in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
These are some really unfortunate Agatu patterns. Oh, all right, it's a double there. Some person now in go mode now going into Thieves Town, cleaning up the path laid before him. Never went into Eastern Palace. Needs to finish pod.
Just curious, what was the boss on Mire? If you guys
That
recall.
was Acid Landmo.
Ooh, Acid Landmo, I like that.
Yeah, it was neat. It was weird walking into an empty room, but there it was.
I thought about giving the viewers in the Speed Gaming chat satisfaction of knowing what was behind ice whatever, but since we saw 2 Trinexes, I figured that it probably wouldn't be anything too fun.
No, it was likely a Colts there.
Yeah, more than likely. I think ice was Colts there, but that was probably the quickest boss check I've ever done in my life, and I think I saw a block of ice. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I imagine the whole reason you went into Ice Palace was following the rule of fire.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as you said, you didn't forget about the Bag of Escape. You just, quote, didn't feel like it.
Basically, basically the way that I play rando is whatever decision that I don't want to do ends up being the answer. So I didn't want to do the back of escape. It has a fire rod.
Right.
I was never doing left side swamp.
Sounds like you need to start Costanza routing.
I think so. I think you're right.
If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite has to be true. And as we say that, GFE crosses the threshold, coming in third on the restream, ninth place overall in the race room with a time of 1:55.14, which is good enough for ninth place. Magno Hato coming in between Mr. Ed and GFE at eighth.
Magno, aka homemade beer.
Where did that start? I haven't heard that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
No, it's Magno and homemade beer are the same person, and myself and Brogor are the same person. And homemade beer started it, and I like to give him credit. So shout out to him if he's watching.
Wouldn't it be more accurate to say that Magno Hato and Brogor are like, I don't know, is Brogor from the EU as well?
Yes.
Okay, then they're the European versions of you and homemade beer.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're joined by GFE. Hello, GFE.
Oh, there's
GG.
GFE. Hello.
I knew I hadn't played this game in 2 weeks for a reason.
Ah. Everybody needs a breather once in a while, right?
I mean, I told Mr. Ed what I would do, and I held true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what the sad thing was is, I'm sure that there wasn't too many people in my chat, but I did notice the fact that that I was the king of last locating, and then when I saw what you did, I think you reigned supreme. So
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
it's just my talent. It
Yeah.
brings me back to one of my races in the league where I accidentally skipped one chest in Eastern, and I believe Fear Agent was in chat and commented. Since GFE skipped that, it's probably going to be progression.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the way it works.
To be fair though, anytime I get a ridiculously late, idiotically logical glove, I'm gonna forget back of escape because I don't use a map tracker, so I don't have a green square screaming at me.
Right. So
And,
the irony, by the way, is that Mr. Ed had the much harder location for the item that he skipped. He did not get ether out of left side swamp.
I mean, yeah, I was hoping either might bail me out like earlier on, but then when I saw where Fire Rod was,
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Having gone through Turtle Rock, needing to go back for the Ice Rod.
Yeah. I mean, I want to give shout outs to TR Key Layout for letting me get to Mimic Cave, and shout outs to Back of Thieves Town for giving me a shovel. Because I was just convinced it was going to be Back of Thieves, because I will lose to that in Enemizer any day.
Here.
So.
I stand in solidarity with you on that one.
Yeah.
There's a very, very, very small chance that anything is in the back of Thieves Town in an Enemizer seed. A very, very small chance. Almost nil. It's like less than 18%.
I mean, the only reason why I even went back to Thieves Town was when I saw that it was a Trinex. It's like, okay, well, at least I might as well just do the back of it. So
Yeah.
Since I'm here, but
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, like the early game stuff actually felt pretty good. I was able to. I mean, it really just felt like an Agassi. Just the question is how convoluted is it going to be?
Your route was absolutely perfect right up until the point where you skipped the ether and never went into the back of escape. But everything that before Swamp Palace, everything was literally perfect.
I'm pretty sure mine was like never perfect at any point. So.
Yeah, you were very thorough and very adamant about not doing Aga.
I mean, I didn't have access to Aga until trying to remember where Sword was.
In Bonk Rocks.
Bonk Rock,
yeah, and I got boots really late.
Yeah, that did set you back a lot.
Like Saha to Eastern, I think was my last location.
Yep. You had gotten your bow, you went to Saha, got your boots, and you're like, I'm still going in the Eastern, so.
Yeah, I mean, at least I got to kill Helmasaur,
Yeah.
I'm just sad that the last item in Ice Palace wasn't on what I assume is probably Cold Stare. Though it
Yeah.
could be Ice Cold Stare too. It's a possibility.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I looked and I briefly. It was literally the quickest thing I've ever done in my life. But yeah, I'm pretty convinced that it was Cold Stare.
Yeah, we didn't even catch it. there were 4 screens coming up in here, so all right. Looks like some person some person no, I said number. Some person no is about to head into GT right now.
We have some person no, and then me. I'm a horse. Yes.
A horse,
We
yes.
We have GFE, who's last locating troll. And we have Spec, who is now
GFE
the
is
new farmer.
Gino.
GFE standing for Go Find Everything.
Basically, yeah. That's one of my favorites.
Also, hi, Mr. Ed.
Hi, TJ.
I will shout out one thing about the seed that's totally pointless, but was very fun. When I went to Graveyard Ledge in King's Tomb, I went to bonk the rocks to open up the pathway at the exact same time the roller was coming through. And
Yeah, that was really cool. That was great.
Somehow took no damage from the roller in that.
Although I think the conveyor belt Hinox was.
Oh yeah, you like that?
That was.
That was planned.
I was
planned.
Yeah, I was very tickled by that. I'm like, oh yeah.
I was proud of that strat. I felt
yeah, it was awesome.
And the fact that I got the Octorok at the same time just gave a little bonus to it.
Yeah, there's some really neat spins going on. Also, shout outs for the diver down in Swamp. Getting that done was,
shout outs to Fake Powder.
Mhm.
Shout outs to
Bro, I did the same thing, all right? In my mind, I did the same thing. I'm not even lying.
Oh man. Seed had jokes and I was
Yeah.
part of all of them. Oh.
Yeah, and just a Professor Renderer joke, that's all. It's like, it must be a Speed Gaming Daily if it was this, so,
You know it's a Professor Renderer joke when you've heard it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not surprised you did that with Left Side Swamp, but like when I came back after seeing Map and Big Key and then saw Compass, I was like, a lot of people, once they see Compass, they're probably going left side in a way. But I definitely could see your play instead.
Yeah, no, for me, it was just based on the routing, and again, because I was a complete idiot. I had in my mind what I wanted to do. By the way, shout out to your collection rate. That is highly impressive. I ended up having to go back to Hera, and the only reason why was because it was a red crystal. So when I was trying to map out what I wanted to do, I saw that Thieves Town was a red crystal. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to go ahead and beat Vitreous again. I mean, albeit very slow. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to do this. I'll do Spike Cave. I'm going to let Spiral Cave go for the time being. And then when I make my Dark Road loop, I'm going to do Thieves Town. I'm going to do Village of Outcasts. The myths were, what a shock. Myths and Thieves Town, cool. I did Smith Chain, Mirror Checks, all that fun, happy jazz. I went right to Swamp without checking Hype Cave. So to me, I had plenty of items to go. And the fact that I knew that Quake was on the float or was on Lake Hylia Island, I'm thinking, okay, there's a good chance that maybe that's just the medallion I need. But when I went to Swamp, it's like, all right, well, I'd rather just not screw around with Left Side Swamp. I want to see how many items that I can get. And seeing that there's one item left, I'm like, yeah, I'm never going to go back here. There's just no way. And then because I thought that, through the magic of Rando, Ether just got put into that big chest. And it's like, yeah, cool, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I clowned I tried to hover Mothula. That failed miserably because he shot me. I hope that if you watch back that I clowned enough to make you satisfied for the clowning obligations.
I think the leaving the ether behind in Swamp Palace, while unfortunate, was pretty sensible. You know, having one item left in the Swamp Palace is probably a good enough reason to, leave it behind. I probably would have ended up doing the same thing, and it turned out in this seed, fortunately, to be a relatively good bottleneck.
Yeah, at least it blocked mine.
Yeah. So you would have, having done most of the seed already on your way there, because of the nature of where myths were and your route through the Dark World initially, yeah, you went back to that ether in a timely fashion because of that bottleneck.
Timely fashion. That was literally the only thing I had left.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Because it bottlenecked you from so much other stuff. Like it was a timely fashion because wait, let's admire this Moldorm again. Yeah, all right. It was serendipitous, is what I'm trying to say. Serendipity helped you out.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I will say, like, going to Swamp without having done first is a little bold when you don't have a way of killing a cold stare, but I was tempted just because of the way the route would have worked out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought about that too. I'm like, okay, well, there is that cold stare, and I'll be really upset if like Bombos is just camping right in Hype Cave. Which, by the way, where was Bombos? Was it in Hype Cave?
No, that was in
No, it's Checkerboard.
Checkerboard.
Oh,
How'd you not
Checkerboard.
get
That's
that?
right. That's right.
Oh, okay.
No,
You
I
did
did.
get
No, I
that.
did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did
Okay.
get that. And when I got that, I beelined. I did the rule of fire and beelined it right to ice, and
You went right there, yeah.
and that failed miserably.
Yeah.
All right, some person No is now arriving at this very obnoxiously patterned Agatu. And, which is unfortunate because we had a very fortunately patterned Agar 1.
Oh, guys, I'm gonna actually have to head out, but thanks for the restream. I'm not surprised this went this way, but
That's
that's a
things
nice
go
welcome
sideways
back to
sometimes.
Rando. At least I got to enjoy Enemizer.
There you go.
But everybody have a good night, and GG's to everyone.
Have a great night, GFE.
Have a good,
You
have
as
a
well,
good one.
GFE. Take care. GG's.
Deal.
GG's, thank you.
Some person knocking down some 3 persons. Doesn't have silver arrows. Does have silver arrows. It's not tracked. Okay, never mind. Why I was looking at the tracker screen and not the color of the arrows beyond me, but I had to be wrong at least one time in this seed, right?
You're
happens.
never wrong.
I'm never wrong on commentary, except when I am like 5 times. Hey, how'd that arrow get there? It's just now occurring to me that I really didn't do enough shouting outs to our tracker. Mad Madewalk Herd and Kiff, so thank you both for tracking for us. Also, please be sure to follow all our runners, GFE, Mr. Ed, Specs, and Some Person No. This is actually, if I hear correct, this is actually Some Person No's first time on a speed gaming restream.
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's what I
Nice.
got from that.
Yeah, everybody remembers their first, except me.
And it looks to be their 4th race ever on at least race time, so just getting
Yeah,
started. And this is a hell of a mode to get started with.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, I won't forget my first speed gaming daily. I tinkered with my OBS settings and my frame rate was way too high. So on restream, everything was basically unwatchable. Like you saw like 1 out of every like 10 frames. It was pretty bad.
All right, and the big pig goes down for some person new. And crossing the bridge, coming in at a race time.gt time of 2:10:09, which is good for 10th place. And that will conclude the race. I'm now able to read the comments in this race time. Apparently, there was a wall master on the top of GT. Then Sheer was hit with it.
Yeah, that's Sheer could have had the win on this one. It sounds like.
Yeah,
Kinda
that stinks. I guess it was a off-stream commentator's curse.
Yeah, apparently.
I did bring that up, didn't I?
You did.
Oops. I'm not sure if we're gonna get some person new coming in. We'll see.
Yeah, I am not sure either, but if not, I'll just make mention of the fact that there is of course the daily races all week, 5 races or 1 on each weekday with a Sunday weekly. The rest of this week, right now, what we have set is tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern we have Open, Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern we have Casual Boots Cross Keys, which is a current tournament going on in the community. Thursday is Standard at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then Friday night at 7 p.m. is Open 6-6 Fast Ganon. And as always, Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, that is always the case, is our Open Weekly. We are, of course, between major tournaments for the Link to the Past randomizer community right now, so no real major races going on there, but do expect to hear news of something probably soon.
Yeah, that is coming up.
Season.
Yeah, always tournaments.
Yeah. A lot of minor tournaments going on, not ones that usually get the typical restream treatment, but those should be coming back soon.
I do appreciate having all these races to run and commentate for in the quote-unquote off-season.
Exactly.
Yeah, speaking of that, I definitely want to get back into the commentary position here. So
Yeah.
I'll see if I can twist your arm, TJ, for laughable comms one day.
Oh, my arm! It seems to rotate on its own somehow. Doing commentary. Oh boy! Why is my arm rotating?
As long as you just yell, "Get the money."
Get the money. Okay, yeah, that's what you wanted me to say.
That's all I want.
Just like get the money and oh, good, a mushroom! Everybody laugh! Oh, here's some person though. Hello, welcome.
Yeah.
You finished. You finished an Enemizer scene. All right. Don't feel bad. Okay.
No. It was just my computer even gave up right as soon as I finished.
Your computer gave up before you did. See?
Yeah. That was something.
Yeah, you did fine. And I'm going to say again, because I'm told this is your first time on Speed Gaming Restream.
Yep.
So, all right. How'd that feel?
No, it's fine. Felt
Yeah.
okay. Just wish the ice road was not my last location. But yeah, could be worse.
It could be worse, yeah. It could have, you could have skipped the ether and Left Side Swamp.
Who did that?
Nobody.
Okay.
Some horse.
Names will not be spoken, just the
No.
fact that I am a horse.
Yeah. All right. So, do you have any thoughts you want to give about this one? Because there really isn't anything that that we haven't seen or was left unseen in this seed. It was an Aga seed. It was Fire Rod in a not completely inaccessible location, and the one thing was the ether in the left side swamp, which threw a few people off.
Yeah. No. Either wasn't the issue. My issue was the ice shard. I don't know why I just was hesitant to go up to Turtle Rock. Just only because I just was like, oh, maybe if it's not there, then let's try something else. Just maybe it was a curveball. That's why I went to ice palace just in case, and then no.
Right. Yeah. There were some really oppressive Trinexes. Please, somebody tell me the plural of the word Trinex. There were some really big turtles getting in the way in a lot of places. Prevented a pyramid from getting done. Nobody needed to do that. The vitreous and the Tower of Hera pretty early was particularly nasty.
Yep. Yeah, I died to that one. I guess, but I'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
The one thing you can take a little solace in when it comes to Enemizer, by the way, is the fact that you had seen 2 Trinex, so you would have known that TR would not have been a Trinex in this mode.
Oh yeah.
So
I was just more worried that maybe Ice Run might not be in Turtle Rock, but
that's fair.
No, it makes sense because if you wanted to try to tie in Turtle Rock and then just save a mountain climb, I can definitely see that play there. So
yeah.
But for me, because Ether was hard last located, it was, well, I can go to Pendant Mire or I can do Crystal Turtle Rock, and it's like, well, I'm just gonna go to Turtle Rock and last locate the Ice Rod in Mire, which to my surprise it was not in Mire, so hey, I did not last locate that. Let's go.
Yeah, I am a very, very big proponent of doing Turtle Rock for progression.
Yeah, live and learn.
I mean, Ice Rod on Laser Bridge? I've never heard of that one before.
That's been showing up a lot recently, and I almost never used to see it there.
Makes sense.
No, it wasn't that bad. It was just I need to work on my routing better. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, as far as Enemizer seeds go, this one had some pretty annoying placements, particularly in Swamp Palace. But it was not all that oppressive in the mainstream routing. The early game didn't have that many oppressive enemies in bad places.
No, I had to take the walk of shame of the not being able to do Diver Down on that one. So I was like, okay, I'll just do it the normal way.
Yeah, there are ways out, but yeah, if you don't know, I've done that before. Where I was playing Enemizer and I tried to do Diver Down, and then I noticed that there were enemies that were preventing me from even getting there, so I had to leave as well. So yeah, I've done it. Pretty sure most people who've played Enemizer have done it, or at least play it regularly.
Yep.
That was another excuse for me not to touch Left Side Swamp ever.
See, you had the benefit of not being able to do Diver Down after coming in as a revisit.
Yeah, and like when I did go to Left Side Swamp and I saw that yellow spike, I'm like, well, I initially made the right play, but clearly I made the wrong play, and and of course, of all the things, it's the big key that leads to the big chest that opens up Ether, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool, thanks, game. Appreciate
but in true Mr. Ed fashion, you may have last located it, but you know what? You picked the correct item to last locate.
Yeah, that is true. I do have a knack for picking the right item for last locating, but still doesn't feel good. It's kind of like every time that my mind says, yeah, I'm not gonna worry about this, I'm not gonna worry about that, it's just like, hey, no, magically progression's gonna be there, so cool.
Every time, right?
Yeah, no, you're not kidding there. So
nope.
But I'm going to sign things off here on my end, but I want to give a big thanks to Jesse and TJ for calming this, and for the trackers, the volunteers, and all the people in the speed gaming community that help put this on. I know I'm a broken record when I say this, but like legit, this community is the greatest community anybody can get involved with. The people are awesome. Not only are they great rando players, but they're great people in general. And that's kind of what gravitates me to be a part of this. And I want to thank all you guys. If it wasn't for the volunteers and everybody in speed gaming, we wouldn't be able to put on a show. And again, give everybody here a follow except me. I'm bad. I locate just as much as GFE, but GFE's cool, and well, I'm a horse. So, but thank you guys again. Appreciate it, and I look forward to next time.
Ah, what a sycophant.
I'm too lazy to say all that, so I'll just say, same goes for me. I agree with everything you just said. So thanks, guys, for commentating and all the volunteers.
Ditto, says Specs.
Yeah. Thanks for everything. Thanks for the restream and everything else, and everybody else.
Yeah, good time was had by all. That's the most important thing.
Exactly.
All right, and with that, I think we're going to wrap it up here on Speed Gaming for this Link to the Past Randomizer Enemizer seed. Like we had said earlier, we have plenty of races coming up this week. Here is the schedule. You can take a look at it. And yeah, there's plenty of stuff going on. That's not randomizer. If you're looking forward to anything going on in Speed Gaming, there's always something happening on one of the many Speed Gaming channels. So take a look. But for now, I think we're going to go sign off here tonight. So thank you, everybody. Jesse, you want to take the last word?
Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your Monday, and we'll see you the rest of the week.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.